Okay.
Thanks for doing the podcast. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I was like waiting for you. I was like, maybe Michael asked me, and then I was just like, wait. And then I was just like, fuck it, I want to be on the podcast.
Well, it's tedious to edit, so honestly, I push it off for a while, and it's to my own detriment. But I do appreciate you doing it, and all the support you give. Your support means a shitload. But yeah. So thank you for doing my podcast. Welcome to Kickin' Shits, and tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Brandhi. I'm 23. I'm a bartender. I am a personality hire at NFM, and I just kind of chill and cause problems. I am a pot stirrer, and that is the gist.
You do be stirring the pot.
I love to stir the pot.
You probably love being a bartender because you hear a bunch of bullshit.
I do. It's always men. They're like, why does my wife hate me? It's like, because you're at a bar at 11 a.m. on a Wednesday. That's why your wife hates you.
Have you heard any crazy shit there?
Sometimes I do hear some crazy shit, but normally it's just like relationship shit. Like,
yeah.
And I kind of hate when people ask me for relationship advice because like I am not an expert, but I also kind of like, I guess I got lucky because my boyfriend's so cool that like I don't have a lot of the problems I used to have, and a lot of the problems I used to have, it's not problems that can be solved. Like, you can't solve someone cheating on you. Like, you know?
If they're a cheater, they're a cheater. That's kind of how it is.
Usually I just go along with it. Like, I'll be like, oh, fuck yeah, I hate when my boyfriend's baby mama, like, does some shit to me. Like, that I can totally relate to that, girl. Like,
oh, God.
It usually just gets people out of my face. No.
God. Yeah, my parents go to this bar all the time, right next to... Well, they've been going to it for years. It's the bar that they met at, right? And now that I'm older, they start telling me all the bullshit that's been going down there and, like, all these, like, details and shit. And there's a back room for, like, parties. And I guess, like, it's, like, an older people bar. And I can't look at it as anything other than my parents' bar. So, like, because every time I go in there, it's always to see my parents. And I always see these fucking 50 and 60-year-old people. It's never, like, people like me and you, and they're fucking living it up. So I go in there, and my mom's like... Yeah, you know, they had to close down the bathrooms over there because people just kept going back there and having sex. Even after they put up a sign and were like, quit fucking in the men's room. And it kept fucking happening. I'm like, ugh, what the hell?
I feel like you're so lucky to have your parents, like, together your whole life. Like, my parents, they divorced when I was, like, in, like, 5th grade. So, like, I'm so used to seeing my parents, like, not together ever unless it involves us. Yeah. And I do feel like that relationship, I've never seen, like, a good relationship growing up. And now it's like my family sees me and Derek, and we're, like, just always together. It's always good vibes. And they're like, you guys are just always together. You guys are, like, we're this and we're that. And, like, you can't spend a moment apart. And I'm like, you're supposed to want to be around your partner. Like, not wanting your husband at your birthday party, that's not normal. Like,
I keep seeing... When I was a kid, I kept hearing happy wife, happy life. Like, I kept hearing that over and over, and it's like, oh, that's what all the old heads would say. And like, okay, that made sense to a point, but now I'm looking at it like, you can't just, like, head down, yes, ma'am, yes, absolutely, okay, whatever you say goes. It's a two-way situation. No. It's a relationship like that. So, like, I am absolutely blessed that my parents have stayed together, but, like, I think it only really is because my mom worked in family law for fucking 20-something years. And so she, like, every day was dealing with, oh, this motherfucker's hitting my kid, or, oh, he's not paying his fucking child support, or he ain't paying enough, I swear to God. And it's like, bitch, you ain't doing nothing. You're just trying to suck money out of this man. But I swear she'd tell me some good stories, but she'd never tell me names, thankfully.
I always feel like and I never felt this before, like, with anyone else I dated, like, I always tell Derek, like, I didn't realize I had never been in love until I got with him. Yeah. Like, and, like, a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, people... Like, it's so true, because I never thought to do shit for my exes like I do now. Like, I will go out to eat and come home and cook Derek something because he didn't go out to eat. Yeah. And it's not because I feel obligated to. It's just because, like, he's important to me. Or, like, I just bought fucking $400 Lollapalooza tickets for his birthday.
Yeah, I saw that tweet. Yeah. I was like, y'all going to Lollapalooza?
Because he loves JID, and JID is performing there. And, like, Derek really doesn't ask for anything. Yeah. So, like, and all it does is make me want to give him more. Yeah. Like, and it's just... And he doesn't really care about, like... He puts my happiness before anything. So I'm like, I'm not about to have his ass out here unhappy. We're going to Chicago for a week for his birthday. We're going to Lollapalooza. We're going to go see the big ass cashew thing.
Yeah.
And like,
the bean.
Oh my god. And we're gonna vibe, like, yeah.
Have you ever been to Chicago before?
I haven't.
No?
He says he has. He loves like the soupy pizza that they have there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Derek is like, he's an eater. Like,
The soupy pizza.
Yeah. Every time they slice into it, it looks like one of those like volcano cakes.
I've never heard deep dish pizza called soupy before. But it kind of fits. I'll give you that. It kind of fucking fits.
It looks like a lot of sauce.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, I keep hearing Chicago's the place to go, but I've never fucking been up there.
No, I'm excited.
I do want to go, but I always heard about it as Chirac from all the fucking music I listen to.
That's my dad. He was like, "Don't go to 63rd." Why the fuck would I go to 63rd? Like,
let me go to Chicago just to go to the bad parts.
No, literally.
Specifically just to go to the bad parts.
No, and I am not tough. Like, I'd be there like scared, like shaking in my fucking boots.
Not leaving the car.
No, literally.
Oh my god.
Or like be like that one video of like Tekashi 6ix9ine where he's out there like middle of the night.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Where y'all at?" Like, nigga, they
For
sleep.
10 seconds. Yeah. God, I just saw a video of him in a LA gym. He got the shit beat out of him. They took his pants off. They fucking beat the shit out of him. He's going out with blood leaking all over his nose. I was like, damn, they're still on this man. I forgot he lived.
That's like...
And he's got the rainbow hair still. Like, bro, go into hiding. What are you doing? Get plastic surgery. Lord knows you've got money.
No.
You fucking snitched on the whole gang. God damn.
And then he like tried to rebrand snitching. Like, he's like, "I did this for my family." Like, did you? Or did you just not want to go to jail?
Yeah.
No, I can't. I would be... That's why I made the conscious decision to date a straight ass arrow. Like, Derek won't eat a grape in a grocery store. Like, I remember my ex had given me this like Nike shoebox. Yeah. And he was like, "Can you put this under your bed in your dorm and I'll just come get it in a week?" And I never looked at it. I was like, I slid it under there. He came and grabbed it from me like 2 weeks later. He had opened it and it was filled with cash. Yeah. Like to the brim. Ooh. And he was like, "Thank." And I was like, "What the fuck are you into?" Yeah. Like.
There could have been a gun in there.
No, like.
A whole bunch of shit.
But that's my problem now. Like, I am so gullible. Like, and I feel like you have to know your strengths. Like, I will believe anything anyone tells me. I was like, okay. Like,
yeah. I have a bit of naiveness too, I will say. People will just start talking and going on, and I'm like, oh, damn, okay, that's crazy. And then, like, later on in the night, I'm like, you know, he said that, like, rainbows aren't real. That doesn't really make any fucking sense now that I think about it. All right. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. You do gotta kind of know, yourself, your weaknesses, and all that.
Like, yeah, I gotta, like, I believe anything so much. I hate it so much. But I have a coworker, and he lies a lot. So I've started to pick on things that people do. Because this dude will be like, "Oh, I was on Good Morning America. I'm good friends with Michael Strahan." And then he's like, "I talk to Chris Rock on FaceTime every day. And my dad was a famous Hawaiian surfer." And all this shit. And I'm just like, okay, today you're a housekeeper, but yesterday you said you were a pilot in the military, and that's how you know the Earth is flat. Like, it's just,
this shit ain't adding up. Hold on. But why are you working here?
No, literally. Like, it was full of shit.
God, there's this dude at my work who just talks and talks and talks, and he just won't shut the hell up. And I swear he's got to be lying sometimes, but it's not even, like, entertaining lies. Mm-hmm. The problem is he'll talk, and then he doesn't know when to end it, so he'll just keep adding on just unimportant parts of the story. He'll be like, yeah, the Storm Chasers lost. First off, I don't give a fuck about sports. Not a single sport I could care about. I kind of care about the Huskers.
And all baseball.
Yeah, exactly. But that's really only when, like, I'm at a fucking party and they have the game on and a keg. You know what I mean? Just having a good time. But then he'll be like, yeah, and the fans threw up. Oh, and that throw up was green. Yeah, it was probably green because they ate carrots. You know what I mean? Just some stupid shit. And it's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Oh my god. I've had some annoying coworkers in the past, but
I can't even talk shit because I know I'm that coworker. Because I word vomit. Like, I am always like, I think it's because I'm dating someone who doesn't talk a lot. Yeah. So, like, anytime someone's just like, "Brandhi, what's up?" I'm like, finally, someone has asked. Like, and I'm just going over my entire week in, like, detail. Like,
Derek does seem pretty cool, I gotta say.
Yeah, he's chill. I like him.
He seems dope.
He's very He's, like, actually a good guy. Like, a lot of guys are like, oh, I'm a good guy, and they're, like, the worst people you'll ever meet in your fucking life.
Yeah.
But this dude, like, I used to hang out with him all night, and I remember one time he was like, you can stay the night if you want. And I was like, okay. And I had woke up, and I was sleeping in his bed, and he was sleeping on the floor. Like, he had made, like, a little pallet on the floor to go to sleep. And I'm like, this dude ain't trying to fuck me in my sleep. Like, he's great.
That's so oh, God. That's so nice of him, though, to fucking go on the floor.
And it's crazy. Like, I shouldn't be so surprised that he's not, like, a sexual predator, but I thought I would get diddled a little bit. Like, you know?
You're like, nothing? Really? Come on. God. That's funny.
He's just like, I respect women. I'm sorry. And I'm like, you should be. Like,
yeah, I've been working on talking through shit a lot, because what I used to do is just like get mad, bottle it up, never discuss it, and then I'd have a little bit of attitude, and then I would never explain why I have an attitude, and then I'm just a fucking dick. So I've been working on that a lot with Jay, and Jay was telling me, like, they tell me, like, oh, I've grown so much from what I used to do, because, like, in the past I was such a toxic person, and, like, this way and that way and all this and all that, and Jay's obsessed with Supernatural.
Oh my gosh, me too.
I've seen every 22 episodes of every 15 seasons of Supernatural. Damn. That shit took forever. But I told her, I was like, all right, if I'm watching this, then you're going to watch my show. And my show is The Walking Dead. And so we were just watching an episode, and Lori, the dude's wife, was talking to one of her friends, and she's like, yeah, but I just wish that he would say, shut up, bitch, if I'm being a bitch, and all this and all that. And she's like, I feel you, Lori. I'm like, you want me to call you a bitch? I mean, I'll pop off if you want. But I decided to hold that back. I was like, yeah, that just ain't me. That just ain't me.
She says that now because you don't do that.
Yeah.
But I remember one time I did something, and Derek was like, stop acting like that. And, like, it hurt me in, like, the depths of my soul.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't even mean. Like, he had just said, like, he didn't like what I was doing. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I'm supposed to be your baby. Like, and you're doing this to me, like, and, like, I hate being the type of girl who, like, gets mad at, like, him when he's mad at me. Yeah. But I just cannot help it. Because I'm just like, I'm supposed to be, like, up here, like, you're supposed to, like, worship me, because, like, that's what you always see in the movies and all that shit. But, like, I think when I know you've been in a lot of toxic relationships, and I have too, and I think you just, like, have to unlearn a lot of those behaviors.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
It's interesting, how different every situation is. You know what I mean? Like, every single person is just so different, and how they approach being in a relationship is wildly different. Jay was telling you about how she was in, like, back-to-back relationships, and then we went on our first date, and then we didn't date again for, like, a whole year. And she was like, honestly, I'm so happy that we didn't do that, because I grew so much as a person in that 1 year. And I think she probably broke a lot of those toxic traits that she had, you know? So, and me too. I learned a lot about myself, what I really want to do, how I really want to do it, shit like that. So sometimes you just need a little alone time for some growth.
I have never even thought about it that way, because I think about all the time how I was dating someone when I first met Derek.
Yeah.
And, like, I'd be like, if I could go back now, like, the second I met Derek, I would break up with, like, the guy I was dating, because he was such a piece of shit. But, like, I met Derek, like, I want to say, like, March of that year, and me and Derek didn't start dating until December of that year, and he probably would have gotten a so much worse version of me.
Yeah.
Because I was doing shit, like, I would break, like, I remember I have a picture of it, actually. God, I hope my parents don't listen to this. I smashed this dude's windshield in with the baseball bat that he had cut next to our bed.
Yeah.
I vandalized the fuck out of his car, and then this is the worst advice ever, but, like, girls, if he cheats on you and you do some shit to him, he's not gonna call the police on you. Like, he's not. Like, I did a lot to this man, and he was just like, man, like,
I don't know, if someone started beating up my car and I knew it was them and had proof, I'm calling the police. I see videos of, like, girls dropping off their friends, and they if they're smart, they have, like, masks on or something, and then they go and slash the tires, break the windshields, and all this and all that, and, like, but then the guys always come out and they're like, what the fuck? And so then they bolt out of there. oh my god, and I always think, like, damn, if that was me, I'd be pissed. But, like, my car ain't shit. Like, I'd probably just get a new car at that point.
Like, I had a friend at the time, and, like, I never knew why we fell out, because I just, like, I love this girl to death, and I still do.
Yeah.
But, like, I would always be like, I hate him so much. I want to, like, pour a bottle of simple syrup down his tank. And she'd be like, well, let's go fucking do it. And I'd be like, okay. And then we'd do it. And, like, that's just what it would be. I remember one time, it was, like, the middle of the night, and I was like, I'm sitting outside this house where it has his location at, and we were by, like, the supermercado, and she's like, well, I'm gonna meet you there. And, like, I remember they had thrown eggs at my car, and I was just like, the shit that they do. No, and, like, yeah, when I first started dating Derek, like, I did worry about him cheating, and I used to, like, check his location, like, every 15 minutes and all. But I just think, like, him showing me that he's always doing what he says he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't worry about it anymore. And it's weird to not worry about someone cheating on you when that's all that you used to worry about.
Yeah. I had I never had a cheater situation, but I had situations. Oh, Liv wants to come in. Let me let her in. Come here. But I had situations where, like, other dudes were a problem. So I didn't think that she would cheat, but then we'd be a thing or something like that, and now she's fucking gone. We'd be a thing or whatever, and then all of a sudden we weren't, and she was dating that guy. So it's not like I got cheated on. I just got dumped for another dude. So I was always... Now she's back. I was always insecure about that. And so that's an insecurity I still kind of work with. As I struggle to fucking close the door. It's an insecurity I admittedly still work with and try to work around. But I'm vocal about it. Like I said, I've been working on just speaking how I feel. And thank God, because... it's helped a lot, I think.
That's something I know I need to work on, and I'm such a hypocrite. But I can see, like, I'm the type of person who's gotten too much therapy. Yeah. Like, I can diagnose myself. I know exactly what my problem is. I just won't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I literally just tweeted about this the other day. Like, the thought of Derek having female friends makes me, like, sick. Like, it triggers, like, an involuntary, like, response. But, like, I have always been friends with primarily guys. Like, I always have. And, like, so I feel like I don't have the right to be mad. And I also feel like I'm not one of those girls who's always like, oh, I'm one of the boys. Like, I'm definitely not one of the boys, but, you know? But, like, I had tweeted, like, I had never had girlfriends growing up. Like, I never have, like... I wasn't the most attractive girl growing up. So, like, girls, you know how shallow bitches were in our middle school?
Oh, my God.
Like, they would be afraid. Like, they'd be embarrassed to be friends with me. So, I just naturally was always friends with guys. Yeah. And even now, it's like, I don't know how to bond with, like, because now women like me. And I'm like, I don't know how to bond with you, like, and all that shit. And, like, so I naturally just always click with guys. And, like, even Derek's friend group, they're always like, Brandhi's so cool. Oh, yeah. And all that shit. But then, like, a girl would be like, I love Derek. And I'm like, what the fuck do you love about him? Like,
why you say that, huh?
Like, literally, like, and I just, like, I'm automatically, like, and I think it's also, like, a part of me, like, believes that, like, usually men are not nice to women that they don't find attractive. And, like, I feel like there's no way you're just being nice to her but he is that way. Yeah. Like, he just really is. And, like, I don't think I'll ever fully, like, have that part of my brain turned off. But, like, I'm trying.
It's funny what you learn, like, the mannerisms that you had as, like, a middle schooler in, like, that age, and how they, because when you look back on it, you can read it all like a book, you know what I mean? Like you were saying, girls just didn't want to be friends with you because they're so fucking shallow. Yeah. And they want to hold themselves high up. It was the same fucking case. I feel so bad because I have this memory when I was a kid where I told this guy, I was good friends with this dude, but I really wanted to hang out with the more sporty kids and the more athletic kids because I was like, I don't know, they're cooler, I guess. So I told this kid, I was like, you know, I kind of want to go hang out with them, but I can't really do it with you around. You're kind of like my bad luck charm. And I think about that once a week, every week, and I feel so bad. Because I'm like, that dude, that's probably sat in that dude's fucking head for fucking months. Hopefully he just never thought about it again, and it was just another day in elementary school. But it stuck with me because I know, like, I'm a piece of shit for saying that. And, my mom calls me Mr. Love because I'm the nicest dude, and I would always be like my grandpa. All of us were like afraid to go up and talk to him or anything like that. But I'd run right up and hug his legs and be like, oh, I don't know, hi. And so she always looked at me as this way. And so then when I said that, and then I came home and she called me that, I was like, damn, I actually was kind of a fucking dick today.
Oh.
Little 5th grade me. But then I think back to, like, shit that I would do in middle school and the things that I would say just to get a reaction or anything like that. I don't know, it's weird. But I also was in a weird situation because I went through having alopecia, right? So I looked like fucking Gollum off the Lord of the Rings for a little while. And people just didn't, they just avoided me because they thought either I was weird or I was dying, one of the two. And I remember, I didn't know it at the time, but, like, I got grouped with the weirder kids, so you say.
I used to hang out with, like, Whitney.
Elementary. Yeah, absolutely. But I didn't know it at the time, but in my elementary school, I told everybody, like, yeah, I have alopecia or whatever. And the teacher, Miss Truly, bless her heart, she had a little moment with everybody. It was like, this is the disease, just so you all understand. And that's just what he's going through, yada, yada. And that's pretty cool for the teacher to... It's kind of calling me out, you know what I mean? But I didn't really give a shit, because who cares about hair? That was my whole thing. I wasn't thinking of how I'm being perceived. I was just thinking, like, dude, it's hair. Who gives a shit? I'm so blessed that I'm not a girl, because holy fuck, that would kill me.
That's crazy that you say that. Like, one about how you kind of were grouped in with the weird kids, because I always felt like, and I feel like maybe that's, like, why I am how I am now. I was always, like, with the popular kids. Like, for some reason, and even now to this day, I'm like, why did they like me? Like, I always felt like they were so much better than me. And they, like, I was the kid that the popular kids loved to talk to, like, love to have around. Like, people like, oh, this person is just, like, evil. And I'm like, they're so nice to me. Like, you know, like, but, like, I was never in their group. Like, I always, like, but I was always there because I didn't have any other friends.
Yeah.
But it was always, like, but I've always liked metal music. Like, I've always liked alternative music. My dad used to play The Offspring, like, unironically, like, when I was a kid.
Fuck yeah.
And that was the kind of shit I listened to. Like, I meant to ask Jay how she goes about stretching, because I try to stretch my ears, and I have these, like, loose pussy earlobes, because, like, they're stretched to a 14, but I can't do it anymore because it hurts so bad.
Yeah.
And, like, I want to go to Lollapalooza because there's going to be a band named Beauty School Dropout there. That's, like, an alternative band, and, like, that's the kind of shit. I go to shows where the tickets are $45, and, like, the bands, like, spit on you.
Yeah.
And, like, shit like that. Like, that's the shit I like. But, like, maybe that's why I feel like I've always been the odd one out. Like, I never had anything in common with any of the friend groups I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always, like, and I always say, like, if there's a group of 3, I'm always the third.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it's just always been. But I also relate to what you said about middle school, like how you said, I remember when I was 16, I had a sweet 16.
Yeah.
And I have never had something that other kids wanted, ever. Which is, like, it sounds shitty of me to say because I grew up with money. I didn't know I grew up with money until, like, recently.
Oh, yeah, because you don't know it when you're a kid.
Yeah, but, like, I grew up with having, not even money. Like, my parents, like, literally just, like, went to work and had good jobs, you know? Yeah. And I had a sweet 16, and I never had something that other people wanted, like, from me. So I kind of, like, held it over their heads a little bit, like, no, you can't come to my party, you can't come to my party, and all that shit. And then now that I'm, like, and I remember being like, I had this party and no one came. Like, you know? And, like, it's, like, just... It'd be shit like that. Like, I remember only, like, 8 people showed up. Because, like, I invited people who I wanted to be there, not people who wanted to be there.
Not just everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that's kind of nice, though, not gonna lie. Because I went to some parties in elementary school only because they invited everyone. Mm-hmm. And it just sucks. Mm-hmm. It just sucks. I just went to my niece's birthday party. And damn, children's birthday parties, not fun. I'll tell you what. You've got to be drunk to enjoy it. Holy shit. And we went to, not Sky Zone, but like fucking U-Bounce or some shit like that. And it was super cool. And admittedly, I put on the socks and I made an ass out of myself jumping on the trampolines and around all these fucking children. But, because it was fun. But damn, I don't know how my fucking parents put up with doing any of that, because... let alone a sweet 16. Obviously, I didn't have a sweet 16. I didn't even think my sister did. But did you get a car for your sweet 16?
No, I got a car for I didn't get my license until I was 17, but I got a car right when I got my license. I got my car before I got my license, actually. I didn't get to drive until 6 months after I had the car, so it was just sitting at my parents' house. But all I wanted was a car, and I remember I had this big dress. My mom is like a party planner type thing, so we always had big birthday parties and shit like that. But, yeah, But I also think when I turned 16, that was like the kind of my transition into being more of a loner.
Yeah.
Like I kind of am now. So I just like really wasn't into it. I remember I had changed out of my big poofy dress into like jeans and a t-shirt at the party. Like
you're like, this is too much. Let me get comfortable actually.
Even now it's like, and that's one thing like I will say I feel like you have to realize that your parents have known you a lot longer than you have known them.
Yeah.
Like when you were growing up, your parents were like in their 30s. So like they remember, it's like fresh in their mind.
Yeah.
So I feel like your parents don't like realize that you're constantly changing. Like they try to, but they're like, you'll always be how you were when you were a kid to them.
Yeah, because that's how they always look at you.
Yeah. And like my mom, like she's always like, why do you, like I'm very self-deprecating now and I hate compliments. I hate taking pictures. And like I get very uncomfortable when people compliment me, which is weird because like I didn't grow up attractive and not like I'm like hot shit now. Yeah. But like I realize now like I get like flirted with like almost everywhere I go. Like I get asked out like a lot and it makes me very uncomfortable and sometimes angry.
Brandhi, you're not ugly.
Like don't do that.
You're
like
I'll tell you right now.
It makes me like almost angry. Like I had a dude at the bar when I was working. He was like, when's the last time a stranger just came up to you and told you that you were beautiful? And I was like, 30 minutes ago. What do you want to drink? like I just and I think it's also because like people say your childhood doesn't have an effect on you, like getting bullied as a kid. But I remember girls used to come up to me and like be like, you're really pretty. And then they'd laugh.
Yeah.
And like, so now whenever someone's like, you're so pretty, I'm like, they're fucking making fun of me.
Yeah.
And like, I don't like to hear it. Like, I just don't. Like,
that makes sense.
And like, that's how it always, like, or like, my mom will be like, we were at her friend's birthday party like last Saturday and her friend wanted to take a picture of me. And I was like, no, don't take a picture of me. And my mom was like, well, why? You're so, and I was like, I don't need a reason.
Yeah.
Like, if someone doesn't want someone to take a picture of them, I shouldn't have to defend my case. Like, and it's just always, like, just stuff like that. Like, I feel like I'm too outspoken and be this reserved. But, like, you know? Like, it's so, like, my personality is just, like, clash. And
yeah, it's kind of surprising. I mean, we were just looking... I have a buddy, Michael Raffin, and I go over and hang out at his place all the time. And there's a girl that goes there who's dating one of his good friends, also named Brandhi. But every time I would say your name, she was thinking of her. And she's like, wait, hold on. She's not a white girl? What are you talking about? And I was like, no. Here, I'll show you. And I go to, like, your Instagram, and it's, like, 2015, 5 pictures, and then it's, like, last week. Finally, here's one. And I'm like, yeah, dude, this is Brandhi. So it's funny that you say how your personalities are different. Because you are super outspoken. And, like, everybody I have talked to has only said good things about you.
Oh, really?
You're awesome and you're funny. And I'm glad that I've noticed it's since you've been with Derek, it seems that you have more of a value of self. And so it's great to see. It really is. And if that's the case, I'm happy to see it. But, like... I don't know, it was just funny when she was like, she's not this white girl, what are you talking about?
And I also, like, I be telling my sister this, like, the guys I dated, I only dated them because they liked me. I did not like them at all. And I think it's crazy to me that I thought I was just so, like, head over heels in love with these guys. I didn't like them at all. I was not interested in them until they said that they were interested in me.
Yeah.
And, like, and that's just how it all was. And, like, I just feel like with me and Derek, we, like, it's weird, and I call him, like, bro a lot, because I just feel like he's, like, in a non-incestuous way, he's, like, the brother I never had. Like, he's so cool, and I feel like we're so cool, like...
He's, like, your best friend.
Yeah, and, like, we do shit, like, crumping at home, and, like, I follow him around rap battling, and all that shit, or, like, we'll play a game where I rap, and he has to go off of what I said, and he does it, too.
Hell yeah.
Or, like, just weird, like, shit. And, like, he does weird shit. Like, the other day, he wanted me to move out of the way, and he flung me over his shoulder and, like, moved me. Like, he just, like, we're just, like, always chill, and we never fight.
Yeah.
Like, ever. Like, I think it's weird. I've been dating him for 2.5 years, and we have, like, the very little, very, very tiny arguments. Like, it's never anything big, and, like, it's just always chill. And then, like, people are always like, why you always want him around? Like, he's the coolest person I know.
Yeah.
Like... And he reminds me a lot of my dad, actually, because my dad's one of the coolest people I know. So, like...
I heard this thing a while ago that, like, wait, you're looking in a partner for either an exact replica or the exact opposite of that parent figure. Like, if you're looking for a boyfriend, it's your dad. Or if you're looking for a wife, it's your mom.
I can see that, yeah.
And, yeah, I see that in a lot of my friends, I'll tell you what. And I understood that, and then I started like dissecting things that I would notice about my parents' relationship, and how like things that I would notice that I wouldn't like and wouldn't understand why this kept happening or why this didn't happen. And I'm like, okay, I need to keep that in mind because I don't want that to happen, or I do want it to happen more, or something like that. Like my dad's my grandpa was the fucking attorney for Northern Natural Gas. So he was the attorney for the fucking like MUD, you know what I mean? So he was testifying in front of the Supreme Court, doing all this bullshit. Big name. So when he didn't speak much, but when he spoke, you listened, right? So my dad kind of copied after that, and he doesn't exactly talk a whole lot, but I mean, he's the sweetest man you'll fucking ever meet. But my mom talks a lot. She just goes and goes and goes, and she's fucking hilarious. And I find myself, when I was younger, I wanted to be more quiet and more reserved, but I just never was, because I keep thinking of jokes that I want to crack and little comments that I want to make, and so I kept doing that. But now I'm kind of feeling like sometimes I probably was just like word vomiting all over the place, and maybe I was the annoying one in this situation. But
that's my problem. I feel you.
But I don't know. It's funny to look at your parents' situation and how you grew up looking at them, and then you don't think about anything. You get into a relationship, you get down the road, and then you see those qualities again, and then you see the exact opposite or the same fucking thing in your relationship. Like
I always tell, my mom is a yeller, and that's just how. And my dad, no matter how mad he is, like I've never heard him raise his voice once in my life. Yeah. And I just think that's so cool, because I am incapable of being mad and not yelling. Like, I don't know how to do that. Yeah. But Derek will be, like, fuming, and he will just, like, talk to you like he's always... And I'm always like, that is so cool. Yeah. Like, how can you, like, especially, like, him only being 23, like, how can you regulate your emotions that much? Yeah. Like, because I am screaming, like, I've thrown my phone at the wall, like, and, like, I do all kind of, like... And I just think that is so cool. And then also, like... The way Derek is such a quiet guy, but everywhere we go, he knows someone. And everyone loves him. Yeah. And, like, my friend had a baby, and I bought her some baby clothes. I was at Target, and I'm checking out, and the lady behind the counter is like, "You're Derek's girlfriend, aren't you?" And I was like, no. We're not going to do that. I'm not having a baby. Please don't tell his mom that I'm having a baby. I was like, I'm buying these for someone else, which only made me look more guilty. Yeah. Like, I was just like, these are not for me. Like...
I promise. No.
No.
Yeah, just don't say anything.
Just got really rough. I was like, me and Derek are very careful, actually. Like, like in the fucking Target on 72nd. Like...
Telling them your whole birth control
routine,
literally. Just so they know. No misunderstandings.
Like, I promise you could tell her that the fucking usher at the church, he pulls out. Like...
God. Yeah, that Target on 72nd, man. That, it was funny to see during the protest how that shit got targeted right away. Yeah, like how everything else was targeted. And I remember running with some people over there, but I fucking dipped out.
I lost my Yeezys that day.
You lost your Yeezys? No.
I had some black 350s, and we were running, and I was like, and I remember I'm always like, Yeezys are the most comfortable shoes I ever had, and Derek's like, what happened to your Yeezys? And I'm like, remember I got arrested. And like, God, I hope my parents listen. They don't know that I've ever been arrested, but
being arrested for protesting is kind of a different.
They let us go as well, actually. Yeah, like I remember we were in the car and something happened, and they were like, "Get out." And they had went after someone else. I think they were like looting at the Target. Yeah. And all that
the
shit.
Police. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, because we were kind of by Virginia when we were running. Like,
oh, gotcha.
Okay. I don't think it was Virginia at that time, but it was like by the Toppers and all that shit, you know. And they had driven down the street, and then people were like trying to get into the Target. And I remember the Target was boarded up and everything. They were like, "Get out!" And I remember I had to give the cop my phone number and my mom's phone number, because I think they were gonna call my mom, because like I was only like, because I went to college young, so I was only like, I think I was 17 or 18 at the time. Yeah. And I remember they had called me the next day when I was at work, And they were like, did you guys get home safe? Because you guys seem pretty drunk. We weren't even drunk. We were just being crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and that was
adrenaline bumping.
Yeah, I got a call from, like, I think it was, like, Lutheran Family Services. Like, that's who it was. Yeah. And it was, like, the craziest shit ever.
God. So you guys were just next to the Target? Is that where you got arrested? And they just picked you up because you were right there. Did you get hit with, like, the pepper balls?
The pepper balls?
Or
no.
any of the mace or anything?
But I still remember how handcuffs felt on my wrist.
Yeah.
It hurt. I never thought it would hurt so bad.
Yeah, dude, it fucking hurts.
Like, it was crazy.
God. Yeah, it was just a Friday, and fucking my buddy was like, hey, you want to go down there? And I was like, I mean, I'm just playing Xbox, so sure, might as well. And my parents were like, why are you going down there? What's the point of going down there? I was like, this is history. It'd be cool. And my sister was pregnant, and I was like, it'd be cool to tell her how it was, because I was fucking there. And, yeah, and then I get called a Nazi in the fucking middle of the road, because I'm just a fucking bald-headed white man. They're like, we even got the Nazis with us.
I remember my, what was it? My graduation party.
Yeah.
Before you showed up, I remember you were like, I'm on my way or something like that.
Yeah.
And I had told my one cousin, I was like, do not ask him why he's bald. It is not your business. And then, like, in the middle of the party, do you remember he, like, palmed you or something?
Yeah, something.
And I was like, what the fuck? I was like,
He might have said Michael Jordan.
I remember in high school, actually, there was another guy with alopecia in high school. And I remember one time Farouk went up to him and he thought he was you and was like...
He said, boy, and fucking palmed his head on his head.
And I remember he was just like, I'm sorry, I thought you were mine.
God.
Oh my God.
That dude actually works at my job.
Really?
Yeah, he works in like a different department, but I keep seeing him in passing. And I want to go up to him and be like, hey man, sorry about that. That was meant for me. I hope you weren't taking him back.
I bet he still remembers it.
Oh, I bet he does.
Your job got like a bald quota to me or
Man,
something.
a bald quota.
Like, that's crazy.
3 more bald white guys by the end of the week. God.
Man.
Wild fucking times.
What a weird... High school is like... I always know my sense of humor isn't for some people because, like, I will crack a joke that I feel like is just hilarious.
Yeah.
And I will get, like, backlash like I'm a fucking, like, celebrity or something. I remember this dude...
They're trying to cancel
there was a guy
You're like, I'm a bartender.
Do you remember the guy with one arm from high school?
Yeah.
And I remember he said some shit to me, like he was trying to roast me, and I was like, okay, you gonna keep roasting me until I untie your shoes. And I thought that was the funniest shit in the world. And I got sent to the office for that shit.
Untie your shoes. That's so good. Oh my God. I remember hearing that kid would play Xbox with his foot. He'd play one hand on the controller, the other hand on the foot. I was like, how the fuck do you do all that?
God.
Yeah, don't let me come over.
Like, and it'd be like, I'm not ableist, but fuck. Like, some shit.
Don't start. If you start shooting, I'm about to shoot back. Yeah. That's just the situation.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna be like fucking playing Xbox with him. You're like, why does it stink? Like,
yeah. Right? The fuck is on?
That was like when I worked at Le Peep, we had a regular who he didn't have any arms. Yeah. He used to like eat with his feet. Yeah. And I used to be like, I have a thing about feet. I can't I can't watch him like dip his bread like in the soup with the toes. Like I don't even
it was like using the fork and everything.
No, like he would get the soup.
Enough, but he's damn.
No.
The soup?
I hate
toes. How you eat soup with no arms? What the fuck?
He would like wedge it in between his like big toe and his second toe, and like he was very flexible. I'll give him that.
Props, yeah. But damn, I mean, imagine bringing your family to fucking Le Peep for a nice little lunch or something, and then you get the circus right next to it. Not
Dude,
to
like
say
they
circus,
would put us
damn.
in like I'm like, you're putting me in a compromising position because I don't want to go back to his table and check on him. Like it's a lot.
Every time you come back, you got a new joke. Like,
no.
Look at this motherfucker. You think he's about to eat that carrot? He's joking.
He's asking for jam for his toast. I'm like, do you need some more? Do you? Like,
some more jam. Bitch, you got a farm on your fucking feet. Good Lord.
No.
Oh man. Damn, you've worked a lot of food then, huh?
I've had a lot of jobs. That's another thing. Like I'm like my dad. My dad always used to say that like the best way to get a pay raise is to get a new job. Yeah. And that was me. But I'm definitely a personality hire. I am always everyone's favorite employee except for my managers. Yeah. Like always. Like even my manager now. Like the other day, she like told me like I had to call this customer and say that I'll call them back with information. And I was like, well, why wouldn't I call them when I have the information instead of calling them to tell them that I'll call them with information? She's like, well, that's just the rule. And I was like, well, I'm not doing that. That's dumb. And she was like, okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you don't want to call them and be like, hey, I don't have anything yet, but I'll let you know.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off. Call me when you got it.
Yeah, like, we already told him at the last call, we'll call him when we have anything. Like, why would we call him and I still am empty-handed? And then she has me on the phone with this dude, and he's like, well, do you know anything? And I'm like, I don't know anything at all. Nope. Well, is there anyone there who does? Nope, because I'm the newest person here, and they all left. Like, there's no one I can ask.
So do you just do, like, cold calls all day?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck that.
It sucks.
Oh, my God. I've had friends who've worked at, like, Buckle and fucking Omaha Steaks, and they only hate it. Like, no one's ever been like, yeah, I love it. I got a buddy who did really well at Omaha Steaks. He sold a bunch of shit, but he's like, I feel like a piece of crap because I'm calling these old ladies and like, oh, yeah, you sound like my grandma or grandson. Sure, I'll buy some bacon. Yeah, what's your favorite subject in school? And he's like, gotta play it up because that's how he makes commission. And like, I had another buddy who would sell cars, and he's like, don't ever go to a used car lot ever in your fucking life because everything's marked up and half of them have problems that you'll find out a week later. And he's like, I just felt so bad whenever, like, we took in this truck for this lady and sold her a car, and so then the car fucking broke down on the way back. And I know how to fix it, but the boss is like, no, don't fix it. Bring her back, and we'll sell her a different car instead. And it's like, that's such predatory behavior, you know what I mean? Like, holy fuck. And so he's like, yeah, I felt bad because she came back in tears, and we ended up just giving her car back because we couldn't do anything about it. And it's like, holy shit, scummy ass people, dude.
That's how it is when you work for like a big company too. It's like there are customers I really want to help.
Yeah.
And like, sometimes I tell people straight up on the phone, like, we have this thing called QA where they like listen to our calls and rate us on it. Yeah. And my QA is always bad because like I'm honest, like. And I'm like, and sometimes I'll tell them, like, have you ever been at the bottom somewhere? Like, I can't break any rules for you. Yeah. Like, I have to ask your permission for everything. And sometimes I will beg, and I'm like, can we please do something? Because, like, I've seen us break rules for customers who don't deserve it.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, someone where, like, we gave them our word, and now we're going back on it. And, of course, the person who told me to tell them no doesn't want to get on the phone and tell them. Yeah. I have to do it. And I hate it. Like, I literally hate it.
Because then you're just getting screamed at.
Yeah.
And how the fuck do you respond to that?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to go about the rest of your day when you hang up and that's all you're going to be thinking about?
We're supposed to take it. And, like, sometimes I'm just like, how would you feel if someone was talking to you the way you're talking to me? Like, and stuff like that. Like
God.
It sucks. Like, and because I actually don't hate customer service. Like, I like people. I like to talk to people. But I just hate the position that it puts me in.
Yeah. See, I feel that, like, a lot of my jobs have also, well, other than landscaping, I guess, but basically all of my other jobs were, like, dealing with customers or being on the forefront or, like, at least, like, at Broncos, when I got old enough, I'd be a cook, so I'd be, like, right behind the line, but I'd still be dealing with people because they'd be like, hey, you fucking bald bitch, you fucked up my burger, or something like that.
What?
But, like, yeah, man, people would get insane over just food. I mean, I'm sure you fucking know.
Yeah.
But, like, now at the job I work at, I just print shirts. I fucking watch YouTube all day because all I have to do is load a shirt on. Next, load a shirt on. Like, that's literally half my job. Sometimes we'll get, like, 3,000 shirt orders for, like, Mutual of Omaha. And so my entire day is just to the side going like that. And I'm not even exaggerating. 8 hours of just doing that. I would love that. It's nice because I can, I have a perfect fitting notch on one of, like, the heads of the machine where my phone just fits right in there. And so we can listen to music, but I just throw on podcasts or YouTube videos or documentaries. I watched this fucking whole hour-and-a-half documentary on mushrooms the other day, just, like, how they started or whatever. And I was thinking, like, I couldn't do that at Broncos. I couldn't do that landscaping. I couldn't do this. And now I'm kind of spoiled because I don't deal with customers at all. Even if I fuck up an order, I'm not the one sending it out. Or who they're calling. They're calling the people upstairs who got to deal with the bullshit. But I'm just the grunt guy down here, yada, yada, yada. But, I don't know. It's, I kind of want to get back to customer service. But I think that, you know what I mean? I definitely don't want to do calls. Like, I don't want to do calls at all. I wouldn't mind being on a storefront, but I don't want to do calls.
The call shit sucks, and we're also supposed to be on, like, the queue to call people.
Yeah.
Like, for a certain amount of time. And I have made myself, like, I said this about Derek the other day, but I feel like it kind of applies to me too, that he hates talking to people, but he's made himself so likable that he gets trapped in conversation a lot. And sometimes, like, I will literally have to walk through NFM with my head like this so people don't stop me to talk to me.
Yeah.
Because, like, then I'll get in trouble that I wasn't on the queue for the amount of time. Like, and I just went to the bathroom. And, like, but people have been literally waiting for me to come out of the office so they can talk to me.
Yeah.
And I get trapped in a conversation for, like, 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, I'm weird because I have a good work ethic. Like, I want to keep working. My buddy got me this job. And, part of me wants to, while we're at work, tell him, like, oh, you should be doing this, or oh, you should be doing that. But I'm like, I'm not going to be the fucking guy that tells him how to do his job. That's not me at all. Like, I shouldn't do that. But, I want to and totally could have, like, a 20-minute conversation with the guy across the way. And nothing bad would happen. No one would care, because I just come back and get my fucking work done anyway. But I'm the guy who's like, what's up, man? Keep walking. But I'm like, damn, I haven't talked to Ross in fucking 2 hours or 2 weeks or something like that. But I go and eat lunch right by his area every fucking day. So, I don't know. I'm kind of the opposite in that way.
It just depends for me. Like, certain people, like, I love to talk to, but also, like, and me and Derek will talk about this too, I love to compliment people even though I hate compliments.
Yeah.
And, like, I notice men are not complimented a lot, but, like,
not at all.
I will, like, walk through and I'll see, like, a guy got a haircut and I'm like, you look so handsome. Like, that haircut is fantastic. And then he'll just come to me later like, I hate my wife. And I'm like, what did I do?
See, men really don't get compliments fucking ever, unless it's, like, from our boss doing a good job. And even then, like, usually they're assholes. But, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the times, like, women don't compliment men because it can be taken as, like, oh, you're interested in me? Oh, well, what are you doing tonight? You know what I mean? And that's got to be so taxing.
But that's also, like, since I had never had men interested in me, like, I don't know how to identify that now.
Yeah.
So I treat men how I've always treated men. And then now, like, they'll be like, oh, I heard Brandhi likes the guy who works in IT. And I'm like, what? Like, because I told him he looked nice. Like, and that's just, like, and, like, it's just so weird. Or, like, I'll tell Derek, like, oh, like, I was having this conversation, and I'll, like, detail the conversation, and he'll be like, that guy was flirting with you.
Yep.
And I'm like, really?
I've been saying that all the time. Oh, my God. And it's funny we were talking about how you think back on how you acted as a kid. Because me and my buddy Ben, this girl that we both know, like, and we just didn't talk to for a while, she, like, added us both on Snapchat. And so then we both were talking to her back and forth, not like we're being in a relationship or anything, literally just talking to each other. But we both viewed it as competition. Obviously, she's interested in both of us, maybe you should take her. Nah, man, you take her. It's all like that. And then I remember asking her, I was like, why do you think you get, like, because she would get very personal. She would tell, like, a lot of facts about her personal life. And it's like, I haven't seen you in 3 years. And even then, we weren't even good friends. So, like, I love catching up with you, but, like, damn, why are you telling me shit that, like, why your mom cheated on her partner or whatever the fuck? And so I was like, why do you think you go into all this? And she's like, oh, well, it's probably because, like, I was adopted when I was young and all this was going on and yada, yada, yada. And then I realized, like, damn, I'm just being a fucking horny bastard right now trying to get some pussy. And that's probably the same case for him. She's just like, haha, yeah, listen to me, please. And I don't know. That was a bit of a wake-up call. Because another thing is to be said, like, we've grown up in a very strange time. Like, computers were running, like, dial-up when we were born to, like, when we were 5, you know what I mean? And then everything started advancing slowly but surely, but we were the ones who had, like, like, I had unfiltered access to the internet.
Yeah,
My
same.
parents just stayed up in the kitchen, and the computer was downstairs, and so was the Xbox, so they didn't even bother coming down there, but that's where we always were. So, like, I was all over YouTube. My sister was all over MySpace, and then, like, we'd play computer games, and we'd download so many viruses onto the fucking computer. I remember it just turned into Chinese one time. We had no idea what to do, and that computer is sitting in my basement to this day.
Probably get some money for
stuck
it.
in Chinese. If they can fix it, shit. But I think that also gave a huge rise to, like, porn, and because sex sells. That's the truest statement there ever is. You know what I mean? And so a lot of people my age and under now grew up just with porn addictions, but we didn't exactly know it. And back in the day, if you had a porn addiction, you had a stack of magazines a fucking 5 feet high.
You're a fucking
like,
weirdo.
Or a shit ton of VHSs, and yeah, you're weirder than hell. But now it's just like, Chris goes home and just beats off all day. His mom's cooking dinner and then watching Wheel of Fortune. She doesn't bother going into his room. And then she just calls for him to come down. She doesn't check it. She doesn't know what browser history is and all this and all that. And so I think that had a huge influence on how I viewed communication with women when I was growing up. And it, like, I don't know. I wish my parents were more technologically savvy. Or, well, I guess they were tech savvy, but, like, they didn't think about, like, restricting our access at all. It wasn't even a thought. But now, like, my sister, she has a 3-year-old daughter, and she's totally a YouTube kid. Like, she'll come over on Mondays when we have family dinner, and she'll sit down and eat, and they'll just bring up YouTube Kids on their phone and put it in front of them. And, like, fair, but I can acknowledge that I'm addicted to a phone. Like, I'm totally addicted to my phone, and you're just starting them young. But I think she grew up in the same era of us. A little older. She's like 29 or whatever. But she has more of a sense of internet restriction and the capabilities that you have to actually restrict it for your kids than, like, my parents did, because they just didn't know. So it'll be interesting to see the different, like, the differences between generations. Like, ours, my nieces, and then, like, 10 years from now, those babies.
No, I definitely think social media, especially, that's a virus. And I'm addicted to social media, but I know it's trash.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like the way that, like, every woman my age wants to look one way.
Yep.
Like, even, like, if you scroll through Instagram, like, everyone looks almost the same. And it's just like, oh, I know it's so bad. But, like, there's just, we're too far gone at this point.
Yeah, that's what you'd think, right? I always joke, like, this is the magic rectangle. And so I'll be scrolling, and I saw this post that was like, me regaining consciousness because I lost 2 hours when I just accidentally opened Instagram Reels. And it's like, that's the truest thing, because I open Twitter and just go and go and go and go and go and go. And so I'll catch myself, I'll have a thought like, damn, I should pay attention. And I, like, turn off my phone and I throw it to the side, because I'm like, it just sucks up all my attention.
Like, I was complaining a couple months ago about, like, I go to the gym and I, like, walk for an hour, like, every day.
Yeah.
And it gets so boring. And I started watching TikToks on the treadmill, and it is insane how, like, before I know it, the treadmill's turning off.
Yeah.
Because I'm just mindlessly scrolling. And, like, the thought of TikTok going away.
Not a bad... Huh.
It literally makes it go by so fast. But, like, the thought of TikTok being banned, like they're talking about right now, terrifies me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it is crazy because it's a relatively new app, but I literally feel like I don't know what I'd do without it.
Yeah.
And I hate that. But I can also acknowledge that, like, a part of my brain is, like, fucked up from my phone.
Oh, yeah.
Like...
Dude, do you get the phantom vibrate?
Oh, yes.
I get that I'll have my phone in my hand, and then I'll reach down to check my phone in my pocket. I had it on, I talked to Cole Bordwell about it on one of the episodes, but have you noticed your divot?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
I got the divot hard. It's crazy.
It's so bad that sometimes my Twitter, I will, like, scroll. Have you ever scrolled through all of Twitter and there's, like, nothing left?
Yes, it struggles to load.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will get on Derek's phone and look through his feed because he follows different people. I will be like, can I see your phone? And, like, I'll just look through his Twitter. And, you know, I will have the nerve to unfollow people that I don't think are funny.
Oh, God.
Or, like...
On his phone?
Yes!
This poor man.
Like, And I used to do it on his Instagram too, and I don't think he's ever noticed it. So, babe, if you listen to this, I'm sorry. But, like, I unfollowed so many people on his Instagram. Like, just because I'm like, they don't post shit. Like, unfollow. Like, probably his friend.
God. I went through my Twitter a while ago, and I was like, this is all just stupid bullshit. So I followed a bunch of... I heard that, like, TikTok in China, every, like, third post for a kid's account, they put some informational thing, like, oh, look how this woman broke a science record, and this is how she did it, or something like that. And I was like, damn, I should put more, like, informational stuff on my social media accounts. So I went through and I followed, like, a bunch of news outlets from, like, both sides, as well as, like, universities. And now I hate scrolling Twitter because that's all my fucking feed is. And it's like, boring. Oh shit, Brandhi said something?
Dude, I hear so much. I have tried to, like, make my Twitter only available to people I give my Twitter out to.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'll hear, like, one of Derek's friends, like, I started following Brandhi on Twitter. Like, that bitch is crazy. Yeah. And, like, it's just, like, shit, like... or I'll accidentally go viral, and then, like, people, like, my family will know... And my mom's friends are such fucking snitches. They'll see, like, a tweet that I made or something, and they'll call her and tell her. And, like... I got a foul mouth. She refuses to acknowledge it. Like, she thinks I wasn't raised this way. I've been cussing since I was, like, 10. Like, like, it's here. It's happening. And, like, that's, like, I accidentally went viral, like, a couple weeks ago because I had tweeted about this time I figured out, like, I was... Not even figured out. I had basically asked this guy if I was his girlfriend, and he was like, nah, I have a girlfriend, like,
Damn.
like, but you're cool, like, but, like, I had been fucking with this guy, like, and all that shit, and then that goes viral. And then the Shits and Gigs podcast, like, does, like, a video about it. Damn. And I'm like... yeah, it's
whole
just...
viral situation. Oh, you know what? I think I remember fucking seeing all that, you know. I mean, at least you're brave enough to fucking acknowledge it. And, you know, there's a certain amount of people who would just never say that in their entire life and just let it fester. But, like... It's a good story.
I usually...
Funny. And you just grow from it, you know what I mean?
I've gone viral a lot, and I honestly usually delete the posts that go viral.
Really?
Because I don't... Like I said earlier, I don't like the attention. Like, I had a viral tweet about the Kardashians that got, like, 125,000 retweets.
Damn.
And, like, I've had viral tweets about, like, just multiple celebrities. And I always, like, once it starts really catching fire, I delete it. And I had a viral video, because I had commented on that girl... You know that girl Pearl? On TikTok.
No, I don't have TikTok.
Oh, you were so lucky.
I know.
This bitch is the worst woman alive. Like, and she is just one of those girls. And guys can't see through women the way women can see through women.
Yeah.
So it's like, we know what she's doing. We know she doesn't believe in anything that she's saying. But she's doing it for male attention. So we're like, this bitch is going on and on about how she hates makeup. She has a full face of makeup on right now.
Yeah.
Guy can't see it. We can see it. And all that shit. And then she's just like... She's just talking about, and that's one thing I hate. I hate when people go out of their way to put someone else down. Yeah. Like, if someone thinks that they're just beautiful, what do you gain from telling them that they're not?
Yeah.
And, like, she's the kind of person, and, like, I had commented on one of this videos, she was just like, well, I don't know why Lizzo thinks she's a 10. Like, and I was just like, well, why can't she think she's a 10? Like, realistically, that's what you should think about yourself. You should think that you're beautiful. You should think that you're great. Like, and all that shit. But, like, you meet people that think that they're great, and they're like, I want to put you down. Like, that's the first thing they want them to not think they're great. Oh, yeah. But that doesn't fix what's going on within you. Nah. Like, you're still a shitty person.
I think it's a competition thing. That's gotta be what it is. Because it's like, oh, well, she's got it? Well, no, she fucking doesn't. You know? She thinks that she's the shit. Well, I don't think I'm the shit. So, fuck you. You're not the shit. Get out of here. That's gotta be what it is. Or at least an element of it. God. And
I was just like, I had just asked her, I was like, so, I mean, I can see, like, do you know we can see you? Like, what makes you think you're a great judge on who's a 10? Yeah. Like, and she had made a video about me.
You ain't a prize.
Like, literally, like, oh my fucking God. Derek's homeless friend posted this morning about how women aren't the prize. And I'm like, you're homeless, you're jobless, you're carless, you're friendless, you don't have shit. You think you're the prize? You're a charity case. Like, I was like, this is just, sometimes I'm just, like, baffled. Like, like the audacity. Like, do you know I've smelled you? Like, you're the fucking prize? Are you like, some people online, it's like, especially, like, people you know in real life, the kind of shit they post. Like, do you, like, I know you in real life. Like, really? Like, okay.
Yeah, it's funny when you know them and then you see how they act online, and it's like, bro, you're not all that. Calm down. Calm down.
It's like one of Derek's cousins tried to give, like, fashion advice one time, and I'm like, I've seen this dude dress in person. Like, he is not saying anything that I need to listen to. And I'm always like, he just talks and talks and talks, and nothing of substance ever comes out. Like, oh my God.
Fucking flame in his ass.
Like, I just can't.
Oh, you dusty as hell.
No, literally. I'm like, okay.
Good Lord.
Fucking consignment bin, bottom of the barrel, leftover fits. And he's just like... He's like, well, what if I want to dress my lady how I want to dress her? Like, leave it to her. Yeah. Like...
Man, you know, I'm lucky I never really... Damn, I kind of didn't make that connection until literally just now. But, I never really cared about how I look. Like I said, when I'd have like patches of hair going, it's literally just wisps. Like, I didn't give a fuck how I looked. I just looked at it as like, oh yeah, my hair's going away, whatever. I wouldn't care how I dressed. Like, I would throw on just any shirt and any shorts because they fit, and I'd go to school. And now I'm like, damn, I was probably looking dusty as hell. I don't even know.
I remember
and that's kind of still the same setup. You
used to have this blue zip up hoodie that you wore all.
Yeah, I like hoodie. Yeah.
I remember that. And I was like, I am very... It's so weird. I spend hours getting myself ready, and I always want to look like I didn't.
Yeah.
Like, I always, like, I hate... The other day, I was at the bar, and I had a really nice outfit on, and I was like, I hate the way I look right now. I look like I tried. Like, and I hate that. Like, I will plan an outfit out for days in advance, and it's some shit like this.
Yeah.
Like, and I want to look like I did my makeup in my car. Like, I want to look like I'm not trying. And, like...
But, like, why?
I don't know.
Why do you want that to be... Because you don't want to be, like, all showy?
Yeah,
it is?
Probably.
Okay. But why don't you want to look all showy? What's wrong with looking all showy?
I literally don't know. I think it's just, like, I hate attention type thing. Like... Yeah. And all that shit. Like, if I'm wearing an outfit and someone compliments me on it, you know I will never wear it again.
Yeah?
Like,
really?
Never wear it again.
Oh, Brandhi.
Like, we'll sell it online for, like, $1.
Dude.
Like...
If someone tells me I'm looking handsome, I'm taking 8 pictures that day. I'll tell you what. I'm hitting every pose in the bathroom. I'm lying that I got a shit at work just so I can go in there and be like, maybe this side. I don't know. Because I never feel myself. I went through all my photos when I was younger, and I was like, because, like, I made a Facebook when I was, like, 12, and I remember, like, oh, I'm not 13, they'll never know. The FBI knocking on my door or some bullshit. But I would post pictures of myself, and then when I was, like, 16, I was like, I would get roasted by my friends, and I'm like, they can't find this, delete. But now I'm sad I did that, because now I have no photos from when I was, like, 10 to 15. I have, like, nothing there. Only, like, rare shit from the disposable cameras that my parents would get every once in a while.
That's like, part of me, I hate taking pictures now. That's like my Instagram having like a 7-year gap.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know when I'm older, I will hate myself for it, but I just still cannot bring myself to like do shit. Like, I can't. Like, and Derek wants to take like relationship pictures, and I'm just like, I'll probably love them later, but I know right now I won't want to look at them.
Yeah.
And, like, and that's just how it is.
They're good to have. I have a shit ton of, like, Snapchat memories. Not a lot of, like, posted pictures. So
same.
That's, it's kind of like the private stash. It's good. But, I don't know. Reflecting on self-image, it helps a lot because you figure out shit about yourself. So.
And I do be thinking sometimes, like, because I'm adopted, and I be wondering, like, do I not like my image because I never grew up seeing anyone who looked like me?
Yeah. Like,
that could be, like, I just, like, and I never realized that I didn't look like anyone in my family.
Yeah. Until,
like, I had finally found out. In, like, the weirdest fucking way. I found out because I was trying to get a job at 16 because I was trying to be fucking grown, and my mom lost my birth certificate. And I went to the courthouse to get another copy of it. And they're like, oh, your birth certificate's not here. It's in Lincoln. And I'm like, why is it in Lincoln? They're like, oh, because when you're adopted, your birth certificates are in Lincoln.
That's how you found out.
That's how I found out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
And
oh, God.
I was like...
How did I hate you?
I am so gullible. I believe anything anyone tells me. So my mom was like, that bitch is lying. I'm like, that bitch is lying. Like, and that was just it. But then, like, 2 weeks later, my parents told me. But, like, I was just like, yeah, the lady at the office, she has it out to get me. Like, why would she?
Obviously, she has nothing against
and that's just what it is. But, like, it's weird because I thought I was, like, going through shit and I was depressed in college because I found out I was adopted. I was depressed in college because I was fucking not going anywhere and I was, like, staying in my house all the time.
Yeah.
And I knew that when, like, my therapist had, like, recommended this adoption support group at UNO, and I didn't relate to anyone there. I was like, I don't hate my mom and my dad. I love them. Like, they're cool. Like I didn't feel the need to just drop them and go be with my biological family. Like, they're cool and all, but, like, it sucks to say it this way, but I didn't feel like I needed them.
Yeah.
Like, I had everything that I wanted.
Them.
Like, yeah, like, I was just like, there's nothing that they really have that I need. Like, I didn't grow up missing, like, love or, like, just, like, friends or anything like that. Like, I was like the people that I grew up with, and, like, honestly, when I met my biological family, I was like, I'm not really like you guys at all. Like, it was just weird. I felt very uncomfortable, and, like, I felt like I didn't fit in. Like, just the vibe was just weird, so I just kind of, like, automatically distanced myself from them.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, I hate it because I'm such a people pleaser that I know they want me around. So I want to be around because I know they want me around.
Yeah.
But then I also feel like if I'm around them, I'm betraying my adopted family, which is my actual family, even though they don't feel that way. But I do. And, like, I remember, like, I was talking to my biological mom and she had said something like, your real dad, and I was just like, no, like, that is my real dad. Like, like, Antoine is my real dad. Like, and I was just like, and that just, like, sometimes people say things, they don't even realize how it affects you. But, like, when she said that, it just completely turned me off. Like, I was just like, I could never. Like, there's just, like, no, like, we could be cool. Like, if something happened, I'll probably go to the funeral. But, like, I just can't. Like, it's just always like that.
I've been in a bit of a chase after my dad's biological mom because he was adopted, and he's, like, 66 years old. And the charity organization that took over the spot that had his paperwork, they've reached out to her, confirmed that she's alive, and she initially was like, sure, I'm down with contact, but she hasn't returned anything. And now when they call her, well, I don't know what happens when they call her, but they've just said, like, oh, yeah, she's not really saying anything, so maybe it's just, like, she's changed her mind. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll wait to see if she calls back. And so, like, months have passed, and just the other day I messaged the lady that I've been talking to at the charity, and I was like, hey, I've been checking my email just to see in case you do message me about it, and I'm not mad or anything that you haven't, and I'm not putting it on you of all people, but I was just wondering, like, part of why we wanted to meet her is because we want just the medical information. Like, I just want to know if I'm at risk for heart disease or whatever the fuck. And, like, now my dad's had 2 strokes, and, like, it's later in his life, so it's not like I probably have a risk of it, but not like
not like now. Yeah,
exactly. But something could skip a generation, you know what I mean? And she's like, well, we can't exactly give it without her consent, and she has to, like, respond to give her consent. So, wow, we're going to call her again and see what's up. But if she doesn't respond, just take it as a no. And then we'll have to wait till she passes away, and we can ask her next of kin. And I don't know. I've talked to my dad about it, like, do you feel weird that I'm kind of pursuing your birth mom? Like, I'm not doing this to discredit my grandparents, because I still look at his adopted parents as my grandparents, and they forever will be. Like, I'm not doing this to discredit them. And he's like, no, not at all. And I'm like, do you think they'd be mad that I'm doing this? And he's like, no, not at all. It's just, he tried to do it when him and my mom got married, because when you get married, you have to see if you're related. So they had to check if they're related. And the that was in 91. And they were like, yeah, you're not related, but we can't tell you anything else. Because we don't know where the records are. And then so fast forward to now, everything's on the computer. I'm like, shit, they probably got the records. Let me hit them up. And then boom, 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 boom. I get all these steps done that they tried to do fucking 21 years ago. And like I said, my dad has had some strokes, and they're trying to move out of their house. It's a split level, a lot of stairs. And my mom has neuropathy, so she had to relearn how to walk because she can't feel her feet. So now she just moves her legs the correct way to walk. And so when there's 4 flights of stairs in the house, probably not good for people who can't walk that well. So we're cleaning out the entire house, and I found the notepad that he wrote, like, called them today to check. They said they'd call back 3 p.m. Called them again 4:30. They said they still don't have the information the next day. And so it's like all the logs of what he did. And so I know they weren't just like bullshitting me. And it's cool to see like all the effort that they put in to try and find it. But like they just didn't have the resources to look through the documents, because someone would have to go into the back room, find the file, go through the box, and then be like, it's smudged. I don't know. But now everything's digital, so it's
the
been cool
health
to see.
part is the craziest part about being. It's like something you don't even think about. Like, I have epilepsy. Like, I have seizures and all that shit. Yeah, and I used to be so embarrassed to say it when I was younger, but like, and finding out that I don't have, because they did like a test on me or something like that, and there's like 2 base kind of epilepsies you can have. Like, you have one that you get, and then there's one that you're born with, and if you're born with it, it probably won't kill you. Okay. But if you like get it, if you develop it, then like you have a risk of dying. And like I remember just like having a conversation with my bio mom, and she's like, yeah, like your dad used to have seizures all the time. And I'm like, so that's how I got it. And like my doctor's like, you're actually doing great, like you're fine, it'll probably like never kill you, but just like make sure you get enough sleep and you probably won't have seizures and all that shit. But that shit made me so angry, because especially since my parents, like I remember when I had my first seizure when I was like, I want to say like 5th grade. Yeah. And like them like trying to scramble to figure out what's wrong, and we were going to the hospitals and all that shit. It's like, what? Like, you could have been known. You could have said something, like, and that makes me like worry about having kids and all that stuff, because like I am lucky enough to like that I just don't have, like, if I have seizures, they're not bad. Yeah. Like they're like little tiny like 20-second ones, like, and I'm like kind of woozy afterwards, but like I'm fine. But I'm worried about like giving birth to a child who has like grand mal seizures. Yeah. And it's like just some shit like, I don't like that kind of shit makes me nervous. And it's also like I've never met my biological dad. He lives in like California or something like that. And I remember like I had put on like a lot, like I'll never be skinny, but I put on like a lot of weight like in college. And at one point I was like, and this is crazy to think about it, like I just weighed myself this morning at the gym and I'm like 240 pounds. Yeah. But like 2 years ago I was 330 pounds. Damn. Yeah. Don't say Brandhi. Damn.
No, like, but that fucking drop, that's crazy. Yeah. Good for you. Fuck yeah.
And like I had always worried like,
you should be proud of that.
I am proud of it, but I still like, I want to lose like 30 more pounds. And like, but like I was always like, why is it so hard for me? Yeah. But like, and then I see a picture of my biological dad's side and they're all big. Yeah. Like all of them. And like in my side of my family, everyone's like skinny. Like, like except for like my dad. My dad was like bigger, but he was never like huge. Yeah. And I see that and I'm like, I'm probably not meant to be this size. Like, you know, like, and even now it's like, I've been going to the gym like every, like 6 days a week since like October, and like trying to eat like really low, and it's just like I just cannot. I've been juggling like the same 3 pounds in like 6 months. Yeah. And like I think there is a certain point where you get to the weight that you're supposed to be. Yeah. And like you just can't really go under that without like putting yourself in danger. Hurting your life. Yeah. Yeah. And all that shit. But I like I saw it and I was like, they're all shaped like me. Yeah. Like.
Well, no, for real, you should be proud of that. It's fucking hard to lose weight. I mean, I don't know. I got into lifting weights because my little brother's always been bigger. And honestly, one of the bigger like motivations for when I worked out was because my older siblings would always pit us against each other. Like, I used to hate how short I was when I was a kid. But I'm a fucking kid. Of course I'm short. So they would be like, oh, Dan said you're a midget. And I'm like, what the fuck did he say? And so then I go over there, and then we're wrestling and fighting and all this. And all he would do is boom, and just like sit on me. And I can't do shit. I just have to wiggle out from under him. But then when I got into high school, sophomore year, I took weight training, and every time I pushed the bar up, I'm like, this is me getting up from fighting Dan. This is me getting up from fighting Dan. And then I remember he got on me, and I went over into push-up position, and I fucking pushed all the way, got him up, and I was like, fuck yeah, motherfucker, you see me now. God damn it, this is how it works. And so I was super proud of that. And then I worked out for a bit, and then I stopped. And then I put on a lot of weight, and I was like, yo, I gotta cut this back. Because, like, there's two types of bald people. You're either like real fat or you're built.
Mm-hmm.
There's kind of no in between. So I always think about the dude from Lilo and Stitch that drops the ice cream. I'm like, that cannot be me. I cannot be that guy. I'd rather be fucking Bruce Willis than that guy. So that's been kind of the secondary motivation to kind of keep it. But
Derek Derek lifts like crazy actually, and I hate going to the gym with him because this dude,
he shows you up.
Like, I'll be lifting 30 pounds and I'm struggling, and he's lifting 315 and he's like, today was a light day. I'm like, I wonder if I have a picture of like, he had sent me a picture of like when we had first started dating. When I was like, I look like a big ass fucking bowling ball, and I can't even find it. But one of the things that helped me lose weight was literally eating regularly.
Yeah.
Like, I used to just really not eat a lot. And then, like, I actually used to, because I was so fucking fat, and I still do this now, it's like such a bad habit, but I will eat in secret because I don't want to eat around anyone.
Yeah.
And I used to, like, eat in my car before, like, I would hang out with Derek, so I wouldn't be hungry or, like, stuff like that, or I would just nibble on shit all day, but I would never actually, like, eat a full meal. Mm-hmm. But then when you live with someone and you're dating them, they're like,
can't really hide that.
Yeah, no, he'd be like, I never see you fucking eat. We've been living together for 3 months. When's the last time you eat? I never see you eat. Mm-hmm. And so, like, he would make me eat. And it's crazy how just eating all the time just makes your metabolism, like, that plus working out, you just drop.
Yep.
Like, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
No.
God. No, you should, for real, be proud of yourself. For real.
It's hard sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, like, the size I am now, when I was fucking fat as fuck, I would have given anything to be the size I am now, and I'm here now, and I don't appreciate it.
Yep.
Like,
that's how it is.
It's like, and I was telling my friend, because I have a friend who's, like, almost, like, she's, like, 400, like, in between 300 and 400 pounds, and she doesn't understand it. Like, she'll be like, you look great, and I'm just like, I don't feel great, though, you know? And it's just, like, it feels weird to not be appreciative when someone's just like, man, if I could be your size. I love it, but I'm like, well, fuck, I went to Target, and I'm a fucking size 16, and I couldn't fit in their biggest pants, and that sucked. And they're like, but, like, 2 years ago, I was a size 24, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, it just, I hate it. Like, I think I'll never seriously be happy, because I will always find something wrong with myself.
You're always on the chase.
Yeah, like, I used to love my nose. That was, like, a thing I used to love. And then I remember like 2 days ago, I was looking in the mirror, and I was like, I hate my fucking nose. I want, like, a point, like Michael Jackson. Like, like, for someone who has mirrors all over their house like I do, like, I hate looking, every time I look in the mirror. If I look in the mirror long enough, I'll find something wrong with myself.
Yeah.
That's just how it always is. And I also feel like too many people lie about, like, I was telling my grandma this. I was like, I feel like it's bad advice to say you just have to not listen to what people say or not care what people say. Yeah. Because I think everyone cares what someone thinks about them. Like, you know, like, you just gotta not care what people think about you. Like, that's not good advice. That does nothing for me. Like, yeah.
Yeah, see, there's how are you ever gonna know if you're in the wrong if you simply just don't give a
fuck?
That's kind of the situation. I see you there.
And sometimes people, like, me and my aunt talk about this, like, I hate when someone overly defends me when someone says something to me, because then it's like, that's almost worse to me. Like, I had a customer at work who was like, oh, you'd be so much prettier if you were smaller. And I was like, really? Because sometimes people are skinny like you and they're, like, cancer patients. And that's what I had told her. And then I, like, went to, like, the back of the kitchen and I had, like, said some things, like, to my coworkers, like, this crazy. And, like, the dude in the kitchen's like, she fucking crazy. I don't even date big girls and I'll take you down right now. And I was like, oh my God.
That's too much. That's too much.
I was like, no.
That's funny.
Like, please do not run out there and tell that lady how you would fuck me, please.
So yeah, I'm happy I was able to get you in here. You're fucking hilarious. Brandhi.
Oh, thanks.
You're so fucking funny. It's part of the personality hyper, if you will. So I'm just so glad I was able to get you in here. We're running a little long, and this is the first one we're doing video, so poor Jay's gonna have to edit all this. I gotta do the audio. Whatever. Like,
no, this was awesome. Like, and if you ever want me to come back again, awesome. Because, like, you have always been one of my favorite people. Oh. Like, you were so cool. Like, never, like, anything bad to ever think or say about Mike. Anyone talks shit about Mike, I'm on them. Like,
God help anyone talk shit on me. I don't know what the fuck am I doing. God damn. But we're probably gonna end it there.
Cool.
So thank you again for coming on and plug anything or tell them how to get a hold of you.
You guys can follow my Twitter. It's BRVNDHX. There's a lot of bullshit on there.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. My TikTok, I'm a pot stirrer. Most of my videos, it's the same by the way. Most of my videos are responding to viral videos about me because people think they can talk shit on me, and I'm not gonna say nothing. I ain't never been that. But like, but yes, and also hit up my boyfriend's BeatStars. It's DRS Music. His Instagram is DRS or Darock Music. His Twitter is DRS Music. He's very talented. He'll never tell you himself, but he's great.
Yes, and you guys should the intro.
Yeah, you guys should probably get in on that before his prices go up. Like, yeah.
Nice. Well, hell yeah, Brandon.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening, guys.